Across a region that spans 30 million square kilometers, small island nations rise out of the depths of the world's largest ocean. The Pacific is home to over 10 million people from rich and diverse cultural backgrounds and encompasses the 22 island countries and territories that the Secretariat of the Pacific Community, SPC, serves. In the Pacific, there is a non-communicable diseases or NCD crisis. These diseases account for up to 75% of deaths in the region, most of which are preventative and premature. In 2011, Pacific Island Forum leaders declared NCDs a health and development crisis, acknowledging the huge hindrance NCDs place on socio-economic development and the ultimate achievement of their Millennium Development Goals. The Pacific leaders echoed a global call for the need to take appropriate and urgent action to mitigate the crisis.
The latest intervention we have has been the development of what we call the NCD roadmap. The Forum Economic Ministers asked SPC and partners to develop this roadmap last year at their meeting. One of the key recommendations in the roadmap is to increase tax on tobacco, meaning increase prices to at least 70% of the retail price. Because we know from international experience that if the tax level is at that level, consumption goes down.
SPC and other partners like WHO have helped drive multi-sectoral efforts to tackle the crisis. More than ever, these partnerships have become essential.
These problems come about as a result of the food that people eat or the lack of physical activity because they don't feel safe to go out and walk, for example. Food policy, agriculture, what gets produced, people aren't growing their own fruit and veg as much as they used to. There's too much reliance on processed foods that are imported. You absolutely need different partners with different organizations and even within countries within different departments to all contribute to this, because we can't expect to address NCDs just by working within the health sector. So one of the things that we're hopeful this year, for example, at a regional level, is to have a discussion at the Small Island Developing States meeting in Apia about setting up a regional NCD partnership for the region in the context of the global discussions that are going to take place with regard to effective partnerships, which is a key theme at the conference in Apia.
The road to NCD control and prevention is a challenging one. Countries in the region have agreed to an overall target of a 25% relative reduction of early deaths from NCDs by 2025, a feat that can only be achieved by countries and relevant stakeholders effectively working together to implement multi-sectoral efforts on a national and regional level.
Because the burden of diabetes and heart disease is going up. We have this notorious record of being the fattest nations in the world. And clearly what we are doing is inadequate and we need to do more.
NCDs remain one of the major hindrances to achieving our vision of healthy islands. And in order to effectively address the crisis, it takes political will and commitment. But it also requires the added muscle that all sectors of society, working together, can provide.